target. A man walks up to him and asks him if he is looking for someone. Jae-hee glances at the man in disgust, then smiles at him and tells him that he isn't it. The man feels offended and tells Jae-hee not to brush him off, and he tells him that he will make him feel good if he plays with him. Jae-hee tells the man that he looks poor. Then the man begins to get handsy with Jae-hee, asking him how much he wants. Jae-hee tries to shove the man off him, telling him that he doesn't have any interest in him, but the man keeps bugging. He then asks the man to give him $1,000,000. The man laughs, saying who gives someone $1,000,000 just to play with them. He then compliments Jae-hee's tiny waist and touches him without permission. This angers Jae-hee and he shoves the man off, yelling at him that he isn't interested in him. The man gets angry, so he yanks Jae-hee closer to him by his hair and begins to rain insults on him. Just then, another man in a nice-looking suit grabs the man and shoves him away from Jae-hee. The creepy man tries to start a fight with the nice man, but the nice man kicks him to the floor and continues kicking him until Jae-hee intervenes. As Jae-hee tries to stop the nice guy from beating up the creepy guy, he notices that the nice guy looks really loaded, and he smiles to himself, thinking that he has found his prey for today. In the next scene, they both wind up in the bathroom of the club engaging in a heavy makeout sesh. Jae-hee takes the lead, but he is soon overtaken by the nice rich stranger, and he thinks that this might be more dangerous than his other encounters. The man surprises him by being really good at it, and Jae-hee, who thought he would never melt under anyone's touch, finds himself losing his mind over the man. He then begins to lose strength, but the man doesn't even stop. He tells the man that he cannot feel his legs anymore, and the man suggests that they go to his house. Jae-hee agrees because that is exactly what he wants, to go to the rich man's house so that he can carry out his plan. The next morning, Jae-hee wakes up in bed looking decrepit. He feels pain in his back and he looks around wondering where he is. He then remembers his interaction with his prey, where he almost passes out. He gets out of bed and checks on the nice man sleeping on the other side of the bed. He thinks that the man acted like a total animal last night, but he still feels that it's a shame to throw him away after one night because of his good looks. He remembers some of the moments the man was calling out his name, and that makes his heart beat loudly against his chest as he imagines a more sensual version of the man. He recovers quickly though, berating himself for allowing such emotions interfere with his plan, and he strengthens his resolve by thinking that the man is just a lucky bastard who happened to have a cute face, good voice, body, was born rich, and is probably obsessed with one-night stands. He then determines that the man would not miss some of his belongings. He leaves the man's side and begins to rummage through his wallet and belongings. He finds a small amount of money, but the man's watch, necktie pin and belt are all luxury goods. He feels happy that he will be able to live comfortably on the earnings for a few months, but before he can conclude his business, he hears the man calling him and walking into the room. The man asks him what he is doing there, and he freezes in shock. Jae-hee collects himself quickly and hides the watch in his pocket. He then lies to the man, saying he was just cleaning up. The man smiles at him, saying he is surprisingly clean. Then Jae-hee makes an excuse and tries to leave hurriedly, but the man stops him and asks him why he took his watch. Jae-hee tries to lie as fear grips him, but the man grabs him before he can make an escape. The man strips him and takes his phone from him. The man goes through his contacts and finds out his real name and his real intentions for meeting him. The man strapped him to the bed, and Jae-hee tried to get away, telling the man to just report him to the police, but the man says he probably has an outstanding warrant, but he will not report him because he is cute and they have chemistry, so he wants Jae-hee to be with him as his pet. Jae-hee gets angry and spits at him, asking him when he agreed to be his pet. The man smiles, saying, "Do you not like being called a dog?" The man then reveals himself to be the real hunter, as he has been watching Jae-hee's move all this time, patiently waiting for him to fall into his trap. He tells Jae-hee that he was the real prey and that he walked into his trap with his own 2 feet. Jae-hee looks at him angrily as the man straps a collar to his neck and treats him like a dog. Jae-hee threatens to kill him, but the man just laughs, calls him cute, and keeps on training his new pet. Jae-hee then pretends to soften to his touches, and he embraces the hunter. The man kisses him and he returns his kiss, deepening it, and when the man least expects it, he bites his lips till it bleeds and then swiftly breaks away from his bonds and hits the hunter with an alarm clock on the head, and the hunter passes out on the bed. He then smiles to himself, saying who dared to hunt who. He quickly dresses up to leave, and when he passes by a mirror, he sees a big bruise on his neck and he frowns, saying that's what he gets for picking up a crazy dog. He finds the man's wristwatch on the floor and he picks it up and keeps it in his pocket before deciding to hightail it out of there. Before he leaves though, his conscience keeps pricking him, so he looks back at the man and he hopes the man isn't dead. He moves quietly and stares at the man inside the room, content that the man is unmoving on the bed. He then decides to ignore his conscience, deciding to call an ambulance once he is out of there, but as he leaves the room, he wonders how he will leave the apartment because the house is so big, and he wonders if it is a house or a maze. He then looks back into the room, and when he doesn't see the man on the bed, he freezes in fear and begins to run around the house, opening different doors and frantically looking for the front door. He then finds a door that looks different and he rushes over there, but the door has a keypad on the outside. He tries to open it when he hears the hunter's voice behind him asking him if that's where he wants to go. Before he can respond, the hunter inputs the code and shoves him in, and he finds out that it is a room much like the Red Room from the 50 Shades of Grey, complete with chains, duct tape, cage, and a bed. The hunter catches him and ties him up and drops him on the bed. Jae-hee then begins to cry as he realizes that he's been caught by a complete psychopath. The man then asks him why he is crying. He then tells him not to cry, that he won't use the tools on him but will give him a special treatment. The man then continues training him, and he trains him until Jae-hee cannot deny it and accepts the man, saying it feels too good. The scene changes to the man getting off work and then off the elevator. He arrives at his home and he says he missed Jae-hee so much, and as he walks to the room and opens the door, we can see that Jae-hee, who is chained up, is already addicted to the man and is such a mess because of him. He even looks malnourished, but it doesn't seem like he cares for food, because when he sights the hunter, he leaps on him and tells him to hurry up and make a mess of him. The end. Please like and subscribe for more entertaining content.